If you aren't careful, YouTube can be one of those things that while you think it's benefiting you, if you don't have the right mentality while you're consuming it, it can actually be really detrimental. And so you've been warned when it comes to watching aviation YouTube. We're definitely not immune to this. And so I wanted to put together the 10 commandments, the do's and don'ts of consuming aviation content online, which might be a little weird coming from an aviation YouTuber, little meta, little getting into the matrix here. And I might actually be encouraging you to, hey, maybe watch me and others a little bit less. And I'm willing to do that because I think this is so important. Commandment number 1 is don't think that everyone else has their life perfectly together and you don't. If there's a downside to YouTube and social media as a whole, this is probably one of the biggest ones because it's really easy to watch someone's 5-minute perfectly edited video and say, man, that was cool what they did on that trip. But wait a second, I haven't been on a trip in a while. And hey, maybe income's kind of tight for us right now. I bet it's not tight for them. All of a sudden, you're totally just looking at what you perceive someone to have or what problems you perceive that they don't have. And then you compare that to your own life. And so you can't look at everyone else's life and think they have it perfectly together. I don't have it perfectly together. I have really hard days. I have hard weeks. We all do. And so don't watch someone's 5-minute video and think, man, they're perfect. That 5 minutes is a perfect reflection of what the other 24 hours of their day looks like. It's not the case. We are all human at the end of the day, regardless of what side of the camera you're on. Commandment number 2 is don't think everyone else knows everything and you don't. It's really easy in aviation to think that you're the dumbest person in the room. And you might be the dumbest person in the room. Often I'm the dumbest person in the room. But that doesn't mean that everybody else is perfect. And that doesn't mean they have perfect retention of everything. There is so much to know in aviation to where you're never gonna have everything memorized. I don't have everything memorized. And so if you're in a room and you have a question, probably everybody else has that question or had that question at some point. The third commandment is to not think everyone else has infinite money and you don't. Like, it's really easy to think, man, what do they do for a living? When you're watching someone do something awesome on YouTube, just remember that for most of us behind the scenes, myself included, we're still trying to generate income and limit expenses just like everyone else. The fourth commandment is to not think that everyone else has infinite time and you don't. Now, sure, if you're watching my video, like, yes, I might have scheduled the time to make the video that you're watching, but that doesn't mean that like the rest of my life or others' lives is just free from responsibility or obligations. We can just film videos all day. Time is becoming the most precious and limited asset that I have, which goes into commandment number 5, which is don't think everyone else is immune from responsibility and you aren't. Like, I've got one kid, we've got another kid on the way, which I haven't announced that on the channel, by the way. So surprise, we're having a little girl in July. You can be praying for that. Super, super pumped. Having kids brought me more joy than I really thought was possible. So I'm really, really excited. It's gonna be hard, but I'm excited. And so with that, it kind of goes into the point. Don't get yourself down thinking, well, YouTubers just don't have any responsibilities. All they do is get to film videos all day. That's definitely not the case for me. So don't get discouraged. This is a small window. Right now I'm filming at 10 p.m. at night and trying to get this video out. We all have responsibilities. You got to find a way to fit the things that are important to you, fit those into your schedule. So the common theme here of the first 5 commandments is to not get caught up in the comparison game. I bet if you followed me around for like a full week, you would absolutely find that I deal with like 99% of the same problems that you do. We're all human at the end of the day. You gotta remember that when you're watching someone on YouTube. This is the weirdest B-roll I've ever taken. So that's what not to do. What about what to do? Well, definitely use it as inspiration. Use the videos you watch as entertainment. Use them as education. I mean, YouTube is one of the best resources in the world that can uniquely bring you all 3 of these experiences at the exact same time. So use it for that. And have it give you ideas and have it be fun in the process. Now, the last 2 commandments are arguably the most important of the whole video, but before that, I just wanted to give a quick public service announcement and tell you that about only 1/3 of you watching this right now are subscribed to the channel. And if this is your first video to watch of mine, like, don't subscribe. We just met. You might not even like the rest of what this channel has. But I'm trying to get more people into aviation because it's the most amazing thing that you could pursue. And I want to help get that word out. So if you've been watching this for a while and plan to continue watching Airplane Academy, would you consider subscribing? It's one of the best ways you could help the channel and help more people get into aviation, and it doesn't cost you anything. So I will never be one of those like smash the like button and ring that bell kind of guys or whatever. So not that, but really, would you consider subscribing? Just do it gently. And the 9th commandment is do be conscious of your mindset before hitting play on YouTube. Because it is so easy to accidentally take what should be inspiring and entertaining and educational and accidentally turn it into something that's just really littered with comparison and discouragement, I really think you have to be conscious of your mindset before you start scrolling through YouTube. I mean, I have to be conscious for myself. Like, if I'm in a down mood where I think I'm gonna be prone to comparison, like, that's probably not a good time to be watching YouTube. Just go do something else. But if I'm in a frame of mind where I can simply have fun watching something, or I'm in the hunt of learning something, then like, yeah, that's a great time to be on YouTube. Like, but just take 2 seconds seconds before jumping on to just check your mindset. The 10th commandment is do remember to lean towards action and not indecision. Sometimes I think we can watch far too much YouTube and it's kind of disguised as research, but in reality what we're doing is kind of avoiding the discomfort of jumping into something where the outcome is uncertain. So if we think we want to fly, but it's a big commitment, I'm not sure how flight lessons are gonna go, and I don't know if I can learn all the material, or that's a lot of material to start learning on, I'll just watch some more YouTube videos tonight, kind of get excited about it, and get started tomorrow. What do you do tomorrow? You do the exact same thing instead of studying, instead of jumping in. And so I would try to lean towards action and not just perpetual watching of YouTube that's disguised as research where you think you're taking the next step, but in reality, you're not taking the next step. The next step would be to jump in and actually start flying. In the video on the screen, I'm gonna tell you why I absolutely wouldn't wait to do this. You don't wanna wait another minute, and I'll tell you why.